Mr. Freeman.
Let's bow our heads. Dear Lord, thank you for this day and thank you for all the blessings you've given us. Please give this council insight and patience to do the town's bidding, to think about its residents as well as how that's going to affect the people around. We ask all this in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. Please join me in standing for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please be seated. Let me welcome everyone, council, staff, and members of the audience to the regular town council meeting for Monday, July 24th. The time is 7:05. For the record, we have all council members except Mr. Finch, Mr. Clark, and Mr. Allen. With the 4 of the 7 council members present, we have quorum. And time is actually 7:06. Okay, the first item is recognition. It's recognition of the Finance Department for receiving the Distinguished Budget Award from the Government Finance Officers Association for the October 1, 2022 fiscal year. Let me read the award, then I'll invite the staff to come forward. Government Finance Officers Association Distinguished Budget Presentation Award presented to Town of Sunnyvale, Texas for the fiscal year beginning October 1, 2022. Signed Executive Director Christopher Moville, I think. Council, would you join me for the picture and the award?
Mayor, if I can, I have a couple of comments I want to make just as from my perspective on the budget award. I know that the town has received annual awards from GFOA for both the budget as well as the annual financial report, but this past budget year was particularly challenging because 2 of our 3 employees in our finance department had left the organization. When y'all approve the budget, it's after that fact that we actually develop the formal budget that we submit to GFOA. So we were developing this budget in the midst of some staff transition. So I just want to give our finance team an extra pat on the back for doing what they did to not only get us the award again, but to achieve some of the highest remarks and some of the highest ratings we've ever received. So if I could ask our finance director, Mikkel, to kind of just highlight a couple of those, I would greatly appreciate that, just in honor of their effort that they put in.
Absolutely.
This year, the town of Sunnyvale received a special recognition for capital. We've got 3 outstanding ratings. We received 3 outstanding ratings on special performance measures. We received 3 outstanding ratings on special strategic goals and strategies, and 3 outstanding ratings on special financial policies, and then 3 outstanding ratings on special budget process recognitions, and then 3 outstanding ratings on the long-range financial plans. Typically, you will see when cities submit their presentation of their awards, they usually get proficient. Very rarely do you see outstanding ratings, so this is a great accomplishment for the town of Sunnyvale.
That's outstanding, right? Thank you. Thank you, Michaela. So next one is announcement and acknowledgement pursuant to Texas Government Code Section 551.0415. Mayor, council, and staff may report on various items listed on the Council, let me begin. On this coming Friday at 11 o'clock, there's a 30-minute program here at the Town Hall, recognizing Bishop Felix Knowles, and I will be giving out a proclamation that day for the number of years of his service, work among underprivileged, and neighborhood mission ministries and such. You're welcome to join. Everybody is welcome to join. It's going to be from 11 to 11:30. I know many of you are working, but if you are available, please come and join. Are there any additional announcements from the council? Staff, your announcements. Okay, so I'm going to close the announcement section, moving on to the public comments. This is the time members of the audience may come forward and speak to the council on any item other than personnel or legal matters or items on the agenda. If there's anyone who would like to speak to the council, you may do so at this time. No one is coming forward, so we're going to close the public comment. Moving on to the consent agenda item. Council, we have item number 7, 8, and 9 on the consent agenda. Would you like to remove any of the items from the consent agenda? Okay, if not, can I have a motion to approve consent agenda items 7, 8, and 9 as presented?
Motion to approve consent agenda items.
Motion made by Mr. Freeman to approve consent agenda items 7, 8, and 9.
Second.
Second by Mr. Eldridge. All in favor signify. All opposed, motion passed 4-0. Mr. Finch, Mr. Allen, and Mr. Clark are absent. Moving on to the presentation and updates. Number 1 is the update and recap on the 2023 Sunnyfest event. JD? Good evening, sir.
Evening, Mayor and Council. Let me grab do you have the remote?
Clicker.
This is our 2023 Sunnyfest recap. To go over some of the details quickly. As of course you know, it was held Friday, June the 3rd. We had Mark Chestnut as our main entertainment, opened by the 80s Gadgets, which everyone really liked. You can see at the bottom there are 3 main sponsors. The Freedom sponsor was Daniel Steele, and they did it on their anniversary, which was a big deal to them. Republic Services, and then always Mr. and Miss Mull always give generously to Sunnyfest. This page is the planning that took place excuse me, beginning in January. We got together. On the right there you can see, it's a little difficult to see, but that's the Gantt chart that we used to do all the planning. Booking the fireworks, securing musical talent for the event, booking the vendors, the stage, the sound, the lights. That's all completed in February. The tasks were delegated among various departments in our meetings that we held. We held a meeting each month, beginning in February, and then once we got to June, we held a meeting each week. The departments involved with the planning basically was everybody. An event like this without a recreation staff is extremely difficult to pull off, and we did it because of the effort and the attitude of everyone that works for the town of Sunnyvale and all of the people that pitched in. The administration, the police, fire, public works, finance, human resources, economic development, development services, Lieutenant Benton Brummett and Angie Webb for behind-the-scenes logistics, security detail, and dispatch services. Everything went off really well. The Sunnyvale sponsors, you can see on the next page. Everyone is familiar with all of these companies. They assist almost every year. The total contribution, you can see there at the bottom, which paid for more than our main act and allowed us to do more than we normally do, which helped Sunnyfest be such a success this year. The card on the right is what we sent out. Rachel created that for us, and we sent it to all of our sponsors once the event was over, saying thank you along with an email. Some of the sponsors we called on the phone. We actually delivered the banner to Daniel Steele because they were on a banner by themselves and it was their anniversary. So we delivered that to them so they could hang that in their warehouse. The in-kind sponsors, you can see, which we couldn't have done it without all these people. Sunnyvale ISD, Matt Kimball, who is the new superintendent, Keith Adams, who is the Director of Operations, the City of Mesquite, Chief David Gill of Mesquite Police Department, Dallas County Fire Marshal's Office, Richard De Los Santos, Dallas County Fire Marshal, the CERT team, City of Wills Point Police Department, Crandall ISD Police Department, Sunnyvale Chamber of Commerce, and Trinity Capital Bank. Sunnyvale Chamber of Commerce, Terry did an outstanding job assisting with securing the sponsors. She used her database, and that's why I believe that the sponsorship increased like it did this year. Once she sent out the email with the information, my phone started ringing. So that's an avenue that we're going to continue to use in years to come. The next slide was the Sunnyfest attendance. We all had wagers going throughout every meeting to guess to see how many people were going to show up. The consensus, we approximately 2,500 to 3,000 people attended the event, maybe not all at once, but throughout the night, coming and going. We had 4 attendees that needed medical attention. The fire department and emergency services did a great job. They were on top of that and were prepared for that before it even happened. We had multiple cooling stations throughout the park where bottled water and Gatorade for free. Several children were temporarily separated from their parents, but Rachel came up with a wristband system that you can check your kids in. When you get to the event, we're going to write the parent's name and phone number on that wristband, correct me if I'm wrong. And that way, if you get separated, we can call the number and get the parents there on their cell phone while they're in the facility. Emergency management, again, had planned for all of these types of incidents, and we're well prepared to resolve each situation. On the next slide, these are some of the feedbacks that we got from social media. We just marked out the names for privacy purposes and all of the pictures that they posted online, plus 8 more there that you can't see. So we had a lot of great feedback if you want to read through those. I know I see you laughing over there, John.
At least one negative comment.
Oh, yes, sir. The recommended improvements for 2024 that came from our after-action meeting: additional vehicles to help shuttle attendees with mobility concerns from SISD to the facility, additional safety measures along the perimeter of the park trail network. Basically, that we're talking about using the fence panels to block off the trail so that people can't wander through the trail, especially after dark. Install temporary portable message boards 2 weeks prior to the Sunnyfest advertising the event. The boards will be placed on the intersection of US 80 and North Collins, along Collins Road, North ISD campus, as a traffic calming measure, also announcing the event. Alternate layout of food vendors within the park. We discussed maybe moving some of the food vendors around out of the parking lot so that it would be easier for them to get to. And of course, we're always looking to add food vendors so that the lines aren't as long, but we want a certain kind of vendor. So some of those are difficult to find, but we're going to keep working on that and try to add some more choices for next year. We're going to improve the sponsorship banner package and displays. You know, we put the displays up with supplies from the park shop, even though we paint them and make sure that they look nice. There's some different choices we can use next year in order to secure the banners, where they're just a little more attractive for everyone to see. And we're going to improve the entertainment option to teenagers. Okay, we really work hard for the young ones with the bounce houses and such, and for the adults with the concerts and the food, but we haven't really drawn in on our teenage population yet, so we're going to work on that this off season for next year.
If you found out a way to entertain teenagers, let me know.
Something that we won't get in trouble for.
Come to July 4th next year.
Are there any questions about Sunnyfest 2023?
JD, I had no questions. I just got to tell you, the vision, the details, planning, attention to details, it's just amazing. Everybody in the staff. It starts with the leadership, right? Came to the execution. Lots of planning. Safety was paramount. Really pleased with the work you all did. In continuous improvement, looking ahead again, 2024, right? Audio system, that type of things, and all the list of items. Great job. Keep it
Thank
up.
you.
Agree. Phenomenal job. This is the best one ever, by far. I've heard hundreds of comments from people around town about how much they enjoyed it, how much they liked it.
Well, it absolutely took everybody,
Oh, totally.
everybody.
It was great seeing all the staff out there. They were engaged, being part of the community, and I loved it. It was,
And all the sponsors, right, including
Yes.
Trinity. Thank you for that, yeah.
yes, well done.
Okay, thanks, JD. All right. Moving on to the public hearing items. Number 11, hold a public hearing, discuss, consider act upon the 2022 Consumer Confidence Report, Water Quality Report. That be Mr. Dave, Ryan?
That's me, sir. Mayor and council, as some of you know, every year we release a water quality report. It's mandated by the state. As part of that, we are required to hold a public hearing to allow people to speak on the quality report and ask any questions. It's a remarkable report this year. There was nothing that we haven't seen every year. We have no unregulated contaminants or regulated contaminants that fell outside of parameters.
So Brian, do we make it available via online or do we send
It's
it to
available
people?
online on our website under the utilities tab. It'll be one of the first links. It says water quality report, and you can also pick them up at town hall. And everyone should have received a postcard that's a resident that had that link on it, and also had this meeting date on it in time.
Council question on this one. Okay, it's a public hearing item, so let me open up for public comments. If anyone from the members of the audience would like to come forward and speak to the council on item number 11, you may do so at this time. No one is coming forward, so we're going to close the public hearing. Jeff, is there an action on it, or this is just a, do we need to accept it?
It's not required.
Okay.
In the past, the council has accepted it, but it's not required.
Moving on to the discussion action items, item number 12, discuss, consider act upon resolution 2023-21, approving a depository services contract with the Trinity Capital Bank of Texas, and authorize the town manager to execute the contract.
Thank you, council. The town engaged Valley View Consulting to assist with us with the review of this process. Back in April, we went out for bids for our depository. The town received 4 bids back from the banks. We received the most advantageous bid from Trinity Capital Bank, also known as Ennis State Bank. And I have with us today, I have the rep, Chris Lawless from Trinity Capital Bank, as well as Tim Pinon from Valley View. And he was going to make a short presentation to y'all regarding our depository bid.
Okay, Mikhail.
Mikhail. Good evening, Mayor and
Good
Council.
evening, sir.
So I think within your packet you
So would
received
you mind stating your name and address for the
Not at
record,
all.
please?
Tim Pinon, 837 Meandering Drive, Cedar Hill, Texas.
Thank you.
Certainly. So I believe you all have a project recap in your packet. And so, as Mikhail mentioned, we solicited local banks. So we expanded the boundaries outside of just Sunnyvale so that we could increase the competition to search for the best possible result for the town. And so there were 13 banks that fell within that expanded category. I think they are listed there. We just scrolled by it a little bit. That's just kind of a quick look at the 13 banks there. And so then the next thing we did was we had a Zoom call to invite the banks to come in and just kind of go over the RFA with them, gauge their interest. So there were 4 banks that attended that, and those were the 4 same banks that responded with applications for the city's banking depository service. So we did an analysis. This is just kind of a quick look at some of the things that we're looking for in a bank relationship. And so we asked a number of questions to make sure that all of the responding banks provided the services that the town needs to conduct their banking business. There are a number of things that we're looking at. We're looking at what kind of interest rates they're offering, what are their fees that they're charging, and so and then in light of that, we're looking at it as far as what kind of balances the town's been keeping, which over the last 12 months, on average, the town has maintained about $29 million in deposits. So it's a pretty significant part of the city's holdings, or town's holdings. So that factored in as well. So looking at fees, Trinity Capital Bank offered a no-fee bid, so that's always very attractive. And they also offered the best interest rate of the 4 responding banks. So really a very attractive combination there. And then you can kind of see a bottom line number. And so Trinity Capital measured out the best of all of those. And then the added benefit is they are the current incumbent, So you save the cost and the work that goes into the process of changing banks. So, but yeah, a good response, a good exercise to go through, and it's required. Towns by law are to go out for an RFA every 5 years. So it was also just part of following state regulations on that as well. And I'm happy to answer any questions you may have about the process.
Thank you, Tim. Do you have any questions for the consultant? I guess you answered all the questions.
Very good.
Thanks, Michaela. Thanks for all the details in the back conference room. Okay, let me open up for public comments. If there's anyone from the members of the audience who would like to come forward and speak to the council on resolution number 2023-21, you may do so at this time. Mr. Chris, good evening, sir. Ms. Lawless.
I am Chris Lawless, 365 Taverner Lane in Sunnyvale. I just wanted to express our appreciation for Town Council and Mayor and Ms. Reeve. We really appreciate the opportunity to move forward if you guys elect us this evening. It's been a great partnership over the last 4 or 5 years, and we've really enjoyed it, and we've helped each other out, and we met back with Ms. Reeve back in February or March and just kind of came up with a program that worked, and we increased the interest rates. And I want to just express my gratitude to my staff for working on the RFP and putting in all the effort behind that. So it's been a great partnership for us.
Thank you, Mr. Lawless.
Thank you.
Again, this is all about community banks, right? So neighbors, helping neighbors. This is really the best outcome I was hoping for, and I'm glad it worked out, to be honest with you. Council, any questions? So let me close the public comments. Council, are there additional discussions or questions?
No, I just want to comment that I'm actually, excited to continue the relationship that we have with you guys. You're a great partner to the town, and look forward to continuing that relationship, hopefully for years to come.
Thank you, Mr. Freeman. Mr. Eldridge?
Yeah, I definitely agree. It's been a great partnership. Love to see it continue going forward. One caveat, could the bank be closer to the town? Is that possible?
Yeah, they can open a counter right here. Okay, additional comments. If not, can I have a motion to approve item number 12 as presented? Or 12, please.
Motion to approve item number 12 as presented.
Second.
Motion made by Mr. Freeman, second by Mr. Eldridge to approve item number 12 as presented. Everyone heard the motion? The additional discussions? If not, all in favor signify. All opposed, motion passed 4-0. Thank you, Chris. Thank you, Troy. Thank you, Lindy. Thank you, Miss Ma'am. Appreciate you.
Thank you all so much.
Moving on to item number 13, discuss concerned act upon a bid from Reliable Paving Incorporated, the amount of $9 million, $9,362,252.3. I should say, yeah, it should be .35, I think, yeah. $9,362,000, $252.35 for the DeMike asphalt rehab and repair, Phase 2B project, including bid alternative and authorizing the town manager to execute the contract. Good evening, Mark.
Yes, thank you, Mayor and Council. This evening, staff does ask for your approval of this project that will involve the overlay repair of several different street sections within the town of Sunnyvale, including Tripp Road from Beltline to the Falls, Jobson from US 80 up to Town East, Town East from Collins to Mitchell, as well as North Collins from Town East to Barnes Bridge Road. Staff has reviewed these bids, and we feel like these bids are accurate. There were no errors found, and we've worked with this contractor in the past and feel like they're capable to go ahead and complete this job for us tonight. So again, we ask for your approval to award this project tonight.
Thank you, Mark. The consultant, would you like to say something, sir?
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Abiel Carrillo with KSA Engineers, 2001 Hillcrest Court in McKinney, Texas. I was just kind of at the edge of my seat, just ready to answer questions, but it was a good opportunity to introduce myself formally and stand before you for questions to support the staff.
Okay, thank you, sir. Let me ask you, since the applicant, or since the consultant is here, Council, do you have any questions for him? I know you all asked a lot of questions earlier. Any additional questions? Brian, do you want to add anything? Okay, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming.
Thank you.
Okay, let me open up for public comments. If If there's anyone from the members of the audience who would like to come forward and speak to the council, item number 13, you may do so at this time. No one is coming forward. So I'm going to close the public comments. Mark, what is your schedule? What's your plan? When to get started, when to finish?
So we expect after tonight, we'll go ahead and submit paperwork to the vendor so that they can go ahead and get their bonding and so forth, and then get contracts signed. Our hope is to be able to begin work next month, towards the end of August, and then be able to complete this work before the holidays.
And what's your sequencing on this road? Which
We,
one is come first? I know that
Sure.
was a big consideration.
sure.
We all thought very detailed on how to manage that carefully, so.
Sure, so we'll be working through that with the contractor, but staff has already looked at that, and we know that we cannot, for example, have Tripp Road and Town East both under construction at the same time, seeing as how they're east-west corridors. So we've got to, make sure that one of those is open at all times. But most likely, North Collins will be the last project that they work on, because we've got another consultant team that's working on some traffic calming treatments for that corridor that we want to go ahead and allow time to get those finalized, plus work with the public as well up there as part of a public meeting that we're planning later this summer.
Yeah, also be mindful about the trip on Jobson, right? If you look at the M streets, those are the two sides of the neighborhood.
Correct.
The M streets, just only section of the Jobson,
Correct.
just be mindful about
Yeah,
it.
we'll be splitting those up as well.
All
Yes,
right,
sir.
thanks. Council, additional discussions on this topic? If not, can I have a motion to approve item can I have a motion with respect to item number 13?
Motion to approve item 13.
Motion made by Mr. Eldridge to approve. Item number 13 was presented. You have a second? Motion made by Eldridge. Do you have a second?
Yes, I second.
Ms. Danny, seconded by Ms. Danny. Are there additional discussions? If not, all in favor signify. All opposed? Motion passed 4-0. I'm looking forward to it. This is gonna be a big deal. I know Jeff will work on advertising and get some promotion, because we're spending a lot of money. And I want to get people to know that we are investing in town and getting the quality of the road, so.
Yeah, Mayor, that's a good point. I mean, this Phase 2B is almost 11 lane miles of roadway that we'll be completing before, hopefully before mid-November. And then we've already completed another 10 lane miles between Phase 1 and Phase 2A. So if you add those all together, we've hopefully by Christmas, we will have 20 lane miles of roadways that we have upgraded in the town. Now, granted, a lot of those roadways are in the eastern part of town where there's less population, but those were the roads that were in the worst shape, and so they had to be repaired first. And so we're now getting into the more dense areas of our community, more heavily trafficked areas. So there's no doubt we'll have some traffic complaints, because this will be going on in August, September, October timeframe. But hopefully by December, everybody will be very, very happy with the 11 lane miles of new roadways.
Yeah, it really puts in perspective when you think about the town's, 4 to 5 miles across, south to north, right? So this is literally, we're going end to end on major roads, right?
Basically, right, so Jobson cutting right across and Tripp to all the way to Bella and Town East, quite a bit of distance, yeah, it's gonna be big. We did approve this one, right?
13?
Yeah. Okay. Moving on to item number 14, discuss, consider, and act upon a bid item received from DeMike Osborne Rehabilitation Project for Phase 2C.
Yes, thank you, Mayor. We did receive 2 bids for the Phase 2C project, which included North Pascal from US 80 to Tripp Road, South Pascal from US 80 to Long Creek, as well as East Fork Road from Tripp to Gloria. The pricing on this particular phase came in much higher than anticipated, and so staff would request that you reject bids tonight so that we can go back out to the marketplace later this week and re-advertise these projects and hopefully be able to have a successful bid award sometime next month.
Let me open up for public comment, see if there's anyone from the members of the audience would like to come forward and speak to the council on item number 14, you may do so at this time. No one is coming forward, so we're going to close the public comments. Council, you heard staff's recommendation. Are there additional discussions?
I just want to thank staff on this one, because, you know, when I saw these bids as well, the first thing that came to my mind is these are way too high. So I appreciate you guys stepping up and saying, hey, yeah, we got bids, but we'd rather not go forward with these. So definitely appreciate that. And, yeah, I also recommend that we reject all of these bids.
So let me ask Tony a question. Do I just hear the agenda says act upon a bid item received? Do we need to state that the bid be rejected?
That's right, Mayor. Someone would just make a motion to reject the bids for this project.
Council, if you could keep that in mind, please. Can I have a motion with respect to item number 14, please?
I'd like to make a motion to reject the bids on Phase 2C.
That be okay? Okay, motion made by Mr. Freeman to reject the bid on Phase 2C.
Second.
Second by Mr. Eldridge. Everyone heard the motion. Are there additional discussions? All in favor signify. All opposed, motion passed 4-0. Moving on to item number 15, Mayor and Council requests for future staff updates and agenda item. Council, are there any requests for future updates? And Jeff, request, and our staff will be meeting with the citizens to discuss about the traffic calming improvements here planning. So once you have that discussion, perhaps you can send something out that way. Council, rest of the council, and some of us will be there, rest of the council can participate. At least be informed, because they contact many people. Okay, next item, item number 16, section 551.071. Pursuant to chapter says section 551, let me change. Can I have a motion to adjourn into executive session pursuant to section 551.071, consultation with attorney, update on law enforcement, and section 551.07 for personnel matters, police chief search?
Make a motion to adjourn into executive session pursuant to section 551.071 and pursuant to section 551.074.
Motion made by Mr. Freeman. Do I have a second? Second by Ms. Danny to adjourn into executive session. Everyone heard the motion? All in favor signify. All opposed, motion passed 4-0. Time is 7:37. We are in executive session. Thanks. The time is 7:58. We are back in open session. I can confirm that as a result of the executive session, no action is to be taken. With that, council, can I have a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Motion made by Mr. Freeman, second by Mr. Elgin to adjourn. All in favor signify. All opposed? The motion passed 4-0. Meeting is adjourned. The time is 7:59. I was waiting for it to be 10:08, but I can't wait that long. Good night, council, staff. Appreciate you, all you do.